Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So we're on Hadith number 52. This is the covenant we took. This is the covenant we took. So here, this hadith is reported on Abi Walid, Ubadah ibn Samit radiyallahu anhu. قال بايعنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على السمع وطاعة في العسر واليسر والمنشط والمكره وعلى عثرة علينا وعلى أن لا ننازع الأمر أهله إلا أن تروا كفرا بواحا عندكم من الله تعالى فيه برهان وعلى أن نقول بالحق أينما كنا لا نخاف في الله لومة اللائم متفق عليه. All right, so this hadith is reported on the authority of Abi Walid or Ubadah ibn Samit, and he said, "Bay'ana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam." Of course, this is the mubayah of what? Of the Ansar. Okay, when the Ansar gave the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam what? Al-bay'ah. All right, so he said, "Bay'ana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala sam'i wa ta'ah." All right, which is to hear and obey the people in authority. Whoever is given authority over you from amongst the Muslims, that you listen, you hear, and you obey, and you do not become rebellious, and you do not go against their authority unless it's something, obviously if they're commanding the people to do something that is from the disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there's no, you don't obey them in disobedience to Allah. Because there's la ta'ata li makhluqin fi ma'siyati al-khaliq. So there's no obedience to the creation and the disobedience to the creator. So, but as long as they're commanding with good and or things that are mubah, or of this nature, then they get full obedience. Like I say, just only permissible for the people not to obey them in the things where they command to disobedience. All right, fil usri wal yusri. All right, fil usr, it means what? In the difficult times. Wal yusr, and the what? In the good times. Wal manshati wal makrah, and this is when everything's going good for you, is the manshat, because you have a lot of nishat, you have a lot more energy because everything's going your way. Because when you're having a good day, maybe you just got paid, or and everything's just happening right, you have energy, and but when things are going bad, and then you're starting to have all these trials and tribulations, then you start to have less energy, and it gets more and more difficult to make it through the day. So through all the easy time, the difficult times, and the easy times, and the times that you have, everything going for you. So you have all this nashat and all this, this is the manshat wal makrah. All right, you have to, you hear and you obey through all of these times. All right, so that means whether the economy is doing good or the economy is doing bad. But whatever the case may be, because the prices go up, the prices go down. Not nowadays. I mean, generally the prices never go back down, but but back in the old days, based on the rain and everything and the crops that came, if the crops there's a good year with crops, and the prices go down. If there was a bad year, there was less rain and everything, then the prices start to go what? They go up. So this was always the case in the past, but now of course these kuffar have tried to flip the whole dunya on its head. But so whatever the case is, we hear and we obey. All right, وَعَلَىٰ أَثَرَةٍ عَلَيْنَا. وَعَلَىٰ أَثَرَةٍ عَلَيْنَا, it means that even if the people in authority are putting themselves over the people, like they're taking the money and leaving the people poor, even in this state, does not make it permissible to do what? To rebel against them. All right, you have to remain patient, because rebelling against them in this state, if they have all the money and you don't have the money, then that means, and they have the military and you don't have the military, if you rebel against them, what's going to happen to you? And what's going to happen to the people? It becomes a destruction. So this is what it means, وَعَلَىٰ أَثَرَةٍ عَلَيْنَا. Even though they're putting themselves first, at this point, it's not permissible to rebel against them. وَعَلَىٰ أَلَّا نُنَازِعَ الْأَمْرَ أَهْلَهُ, and we should not take the person out of his position, and this means going against the people in authority. إِلَّا أَن تَرَوْا كُفْرًا بَوَّاحًا عِنْدَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى فِيهِ بُرْهَانٌ, except that you see clear-cut kufr, like kufr that there's no shubha fihi. Like for example, if this person is clearly the ruler has clearly left Islam, with no type of shubha. All right, and that you have evidence from the Quran and you have evidence from the Sunnah to show that this person has left Islam, except for that scenario. And even that scenario, It's not permissible to rebel against the ruler unless you can make sure that you can protect the blood of all the innocent people that might get killed if you don't know what you're doing, which will happen because they control the militaries and they control. So if you're able to convince, like for example, let's say that there's a country and the leader has completely left Islam, completely, like just changed his whole deen, complete ridda. All right, but the military is still in support of him and still backing him. And you start a rebellion, again, the military is going to come in to quell the rebellion and end up slaughtering a lot of people. But now if you were able to convince and give advice to the heads of the military that this is not from Islam, and they listen to you. You know, this is obviously amongst the ulama. This is not for this common people, because the common people, these big heads and these generals of the military aren't going to be listening to common people. They're going to be listening to other people that have authority, which are the ulama. So if the ulama are convincing them that, you know, look, this person's left Islam, and they back him, so that when the orders are given for the military to attack the people or something, the military's like, no, those days are over. And they, you know, the military stands with the people against the ruler that's left Islam, then khalas, you're able to protect the blood of the people. Other than that, if the military is still backing that leader, then as soon as he gives the order to squash this rebellion, khalas, a bunch of innocent people are going to die, and the people that started that rebellion are going to be responsible for it. So this is not, you know, this is a thing that people got to understand. This is not a small issue. This is not a small issue. He said, عندكم من الله تعالى فيه برهان وعلى أن نقول بالحق, and that we should tell the truth. أينما كنا, wherever we are. لا نخاف في الله لومة اللائم, that we should not, you know, fear with, you know, anybody's reproach, anybody's criticism, anybody saying anything against the truth. The truth has to be told. You know, and this is what they gave the bay'ah. They gave the allegiance to the Prophet ﷺ with these conditions. With these conditions. So that's huge. You know, that the Prophet ﷺ even took this bay'ah from them, and it made them give the bay'ah with these conditions, that they have to fulfill these conditions. So look at this. And we see this all about what? Being patient. Being patient in the good times and the bad times. Not that we sit here when money's flowing and all the times are good, we're like, oh my God, what a great ruler, or what a great country this country is. You know, like, you know, back in the days when Saudi was, you know, money was going all over the place. Everybody loved Saudi. Everybody spoke good about Saudi. Then all of a sudden, what? Yeah, Allah musta'an. Now you see nowadays that nobody has anything good to say. No, this is not about, and this is not about Saudi. This is about a Muslim country, period. That the people, when they're living in a Muslim country, that they don't rebel against the ruler unless they see clear-cut kufr. And after that, that they are able to protect the people. Because you can't sit here and make a rebellion and sit there and get a whole bunch of innocent people killed and say, oh, it's their fault. You're the one who started the rebellion. And you have to take accountability for that. So, but in the last part, it also, you know, is very, 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 very important, because this is a thing that a lot of people have left, and, you know, to speak the truth. وَلَا تَخَافُوا فِي اللَّهِ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ. You know, don't fear what the people are going to say, because here, what prevents a lot of the people from saying the truth here in America is what? Oh, I'm afraid that the people are going to say this. I'm afraid that the people are going to cancel us. And, you know, it's like I say over and over and over again, man, these kuffar have already canceled us a long time ago. Akhi, we got nothing left but to say the truth. We got nothing left but to teach the people the truth. I mean, there's no point in even sitting here beating around the bush. We might as well just go ahead and get to the benefit of what's going to benefit us as an ummah, and stop playing games with this deen. Wallahu musta'an wa ilahana subhanaka wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.